Today we are going to learn how to draw mask self-portraits, mask selfies. I'm going to show you how to draw you, and you can decorate your mask however you want, but when we open it up, you will be able to see your smiling face underneath. If you have a certain way that you like to draw people already, that is fine, but if you don't know how to draw people, I'm going to show you. We're going to decorate the background with some descriptive words, some adjectives that describe you. Some words that I chose to describe myself are accepting, kind, happy, creative, smart, and fun. So be thinking about some descriptive words that positively describe you. The first thing you'll want to do when you get your paper is write your name and your class code, and then turn your paper over to the blank side so your name is on the back. I'm going to start my fold by grabbing the top of my paper and folding it down and lining it up with that bottom edge. I want to make sure that the corners and the edges are nice and lined up perfectly. I want to press down on the crease to make it nice and crispy. We love a crispy crease. Once you've done this, your paper will be folded like you're making a card. Make sure that crease is folded nicely. You can see that on the crease side I can't open it, so I'm going to turn it around so that folded side is at the bottom and I can open it from the top. The second fold is a little tricky, so watch. I want to turn my paper around so my name is still on the back. I'm going to take the first flap, not both of them, just the first one. I'm leaving that back one on the table. I'm taking this front one and I'm folding it down and once again lining it up as perfect as I can with the bottom. Make sure those corners and those edges are nice and lined up, and then press down on your fold so that crease is nice and crispy. Again, I'm taking the top flap, not both of them, and folding it down to line up with the bottom. So this is what your paper will look like from the side if you folded correctly. If yours does not look like this, let me know and I can help you. Remember, when we unfold it, we'll be able to see our face underneath, so make sure your fold is correct. Now we're ready to draw our masked selfie. Make sure your paper is folded and closed, and I want you to take your finger and put it right in the middle of that fold. Keep your finger right here. It will help you make sure your eyes are spaced out. For the eyes, I'm going to draw a rainbow line, a upward curving line. One on each side of my finger. Make sure you are drawing about the same size that I am, or else your eyes are going to be too tiny. Once you have that done, you're going to do the same thing, but just a little bit smaller on the inside of each eye. This is your iris, or the colored part of your eye. So later on, it will be colored blue, green, brown, whatever color of eyes you have. Everybody has a pupil, or a black circle in the middle of their eye, so we are going to do one more small rainbow line underneath those first two. You can shade this one in if you want to, so you know that that is the pupil, the black part of your eye. Our eyes do look a little funny right now, but that's okay. They will look much better once they have color. Now we can decide what kind of details we can add to our eyes. You could add long curly eyelashes like I did in my example. Eyelashes are great for protecting our eyes, and everybody has them, but you can decide whether you want to add them or not. If you don't want to do long curly eyelashes, you could do just short, straight eyelashes. It is totally up to you. After you decide whether you want eyelashes or not, you can draw eyebrows. Everybody has eyebrows. If you are wearing glasses, you can add your glasses into your picture. How I added my glasses is I just drew the shape of my frames around my eye. So my glasses are square. If you have round glasses, you could make your frame shape circular. or like an oval. It just depends on the type of glasses you wear. And I'm going to connect my lenses or my frames with that little nose part. Now we are ready to draw the top of our head. Take your finger and place it back in the middle and just trace up to above your eyes and put a dot. You want to be sure to leave enough room for your hair, so make sure your dot is not all the way up at the end of your paper. From this dot, I can draw a big curved line that goes all the way down and stops at the fold of the paper. Now we can add the tops of our ears. On each side of your head, do a small curved line that goes down and stops at the fold. Let's talk about hair. Everybody's hair is a little different and has a different texture, so I'm going to show you different ways that you can draw hair. If you have curly short hair, you could do a bumpy line to make your hair appear curly. If you have curly long hair, you're going to do the same thing, but since your hair is longer, you're going to bring it down on top of that fold. You're going to draw right over that fold and continue it down your paper. If you have curly hair but you like to wear it up, you can start by drawing short curly hair and then add a little bun or two on top. I think that's a super cute hairstyle. So these are your options for curly hair. If you have a different way to draw curly hair, you can totally do it your way too. Let's talk about short hair. If you have really short hair, you could just do a line above your head that's going the same direction for short hair. If you want to add some lines inside for texture, you can. If you have short hair but it kind of spikes up at the top, you're going to start the same way, but add a little zigzag right at the top of your head. If you want to make really spiky, crazy hair, you could add a zigzag line all the way around. So these are some options for short hair. If you have long hair, here are some options. So I've showed you the long curly hair, but what if your hair isn't curly? What if you have just long straight hair? You could draw it like this. If you have hair with just a little bit of a wave in it, like mine, you're going to do the same thing, but make your line a little bit wavy. Give it a little wiggle. We are going to draw our hair up, but that will be easier to do once we draw the bottom of our face. If you have really straight hair, you could stop your hair with more of a box line on the bottom. So here are a few options for long hair. I almost forgot, if you wear your hair in a ponytail, this is a good way to draw a ponytail. So above your head, you're going to start like you're drawing short hair. You can draw an oval or a rectangle for your hair tie. And then you're going to draw your hair coming out of your hair tie. You can make your ponytail on the side, in the middle, or make pigtails. Now we can draw the bottom of our face, our chin. So I'm going to place my finger in the middle, trace down, and I'm going to draw a dot just like I did for the top of my head. This dot is just a little bit above the bottom of the paper, and I'm going to start at the dot and draw a long curved line that connects with those lines we drew for the top of the head. I want to draw two lines coming off the bottom of my chin down to the bottom of the paper for my neck. We don't want our heads to be floating. If you drew glasses, now is a good time to draw the bottom of your frames. So again, mine are square, but if yours are round, then your glasses will be more circular. It's time to draw our mask. So I'm going to draw a long upward curving line that goes from one side of the face to the other. I can draw the bottoms of my ears by drawing the same kind of curve that just turns and connects back onto the head. And you can decorate your mask with whatever pattern you want. You could do flowers, You could do hearts, rainbows. You could do lightning bolts. Really, it's up to you. Any kind of pattern you like, you can decorate your mask with. If you like sports, like football or soccer, you could decorate with sports balls. If you want to write a little message on your mask, you can do that too. Or you can do a simple pattern like stripes or polka dots. Be thinking about what kind of design you want to make on your mask. Now we are ready to open up our paper to draw our face underneath. I'm going to start by drawing the bottom of my chin, exactly like we did the first time. So I'm going to start in the middle, go down and place a dot just above this middle fold. Do you see the fold in the middle of your paper? Your dot should be just a little bit above that. Just like earlier, I'm going to start at my dot and draw my curved lines for each side of my chin and connect it up to the top of my head. Again, I want to draw the bottoms of my ears. If you're drawing glasses, you'll want to draw the bottoms of your frames again as well. Let's talk about noses. Now there are lots of different ways to draw noses. I'm going to show you several ways, and if you have your own way that you like to draw noses, you can do it your way. So for my example, I did a rainbow line for my nose, and I drew my nose ring, but you won't have that on yours because you don't have one. But you can just do a simple rainbow line for a nose. If you want to add little dots for your nostrils, you can. If you think your nose is more of a downward curve instead of an upward curve, you can do the same thing, but opposite. You could do what I call the upside down question mark, because if I were to put a dot right here, it would look like an upside down question mark. If you think your nose is pointier, you could do the upside down 7. You could do an oval for your nose. You could do a circle for your nose. If you want a more realistic nose, you could start with a downward curve and then add even smaller downward curves on each side. Now let's talk about mouths. Just like noses, there are lots of different ways to draw mouths, and there may be more ways than what I'm showing you. So if you have your own way, that is fine. You could do a simple smile curve. You could add cheeks on the end of your smile if you want. In my example, I have my tongue sticking out, so if you want to draw a silly smile, you sure can. You could draw a side smile. If you want to draw a smile with teeth, you're going to start with a normal smile line and then draw another one underneath, connecting at the ends. You're going to draw a line just underneath that top one for your top row of teeth. If you want to add a tongue, you could do 2 little bumps for a tongue and then add some vertical lines, some straight lines to separate your teeth. If you want 2 rows of teeth, you're going to do the exact same thing, except you're going to add a second line underneath that first one for 2 rows of teeth. Remember those straight lines to separate your teeth. You can add cheeks on these kinds of smiles as well if you'd like. If you want to draw a toothy smile with your teeth closed, you're just going to draw one line in between. Don't forget those vertical lines to separate your teeth. And now you have a smile that's not open. If you want to add lips to your smile, you can do 2 bumps on top and then 1 curved line on the bottom. So here are a few ways that you can draw your mouth. One thing we need to do is draw a line to close that bottom of our eye. The reason why our eyes are half circles instead of full circles is because when you smile, your eyes just get a little bit more squinty. I want to draw my necklines again. And then I'm going to connect them with a curved line. This will be like the top of my shirt. I can draw my body, my shoulders right here. I can start at my collar and I want to draw down to that fold. You can see where your paper is folded. You want to be careful not to draw it down so far to where it's drawn on your mask part of your portrait. You want to be sure you stop before you draw on that part of your face. Now you can start thinking of the descriptive words that you're going to write in your background. You could write kind. You could write respectful. You could write responsible. Think of some positive words that tell us a little bit about who you are. Are you happy? Are you funny? Are you fun? I think so. You could write loving or caring. You could write cool, because we're all cool in here. If you need more space, you can even write words on your shirt. If you like to draw or paint, you could write creative or artistic. You could write awesome, because I think you're super awesome. If you're having a hard time coming up with some words, you could turn to a neighbor and ask them, how would you describe me? Maybe they'll give you some ideas. Now we have an awesome mask self-portrait that opens up to show our smiling face and show some words that describe who we are. Here is my example one more time. And your mask selfie will look even more awesome with color. I am so excited to see how they turn out.